Welcome to Hoggy's Headlines, where we bring you the cricket news about the news that you probably already knew. This week, 3 retirements, drugs in sport, the Ashes and India's number 4. Our opening story actually closes the chapter for 3 mature cricketers who retired this week. From South Africa, we saw Dale Steyn retire from Test cricket. Personally speaking, I'm happy to see less of him. Not because I'm scared of his pace and in awe of his skill, but because my wife nominated him her cricket crush / hall pass due to his intense, sexy stare downs. And my twisting tongue and googly eyes just couldn't match it, apparently. That aside, he was undoubtedly my first choice fast bowler in any Test team. His strike rate in Test cricket was impeccable, the best in the business. 42.3957256671. He was able to utilise the new ball with guts and guile. When the game was at a standstill, the wicket in the batsman's favour, the captain would throw him the ball and he would amp up the pace and provide a terrifying spell. His consistency was the key to his longevity. I love watching you, Dale, but my wife may have enjoyed it more. On your bike now, Dale. Get off my television set and away with your sexy intenseness. I'll pop in for a bri next time I'm in town, solo. Another South African bit the dust this week, with Hashim Amla calling it quits too. 28 Test centuries over 16 years. From 2010 to 2014, he had 5 impeccable years where he scored 16 of those centuries. He scored 27 one-day international hundreds and was the quickest one-day international player to get to 2,000 runs, 3,000 runs, 4,000 runs, 5,000 runs, 6,000 runs, 7,000 runs, and thank heavens for Virat Kohli for beating him to 8,000 runs. But he was the 4th cricketer to have 2,500s in both Tests and one-day internationals. He was the first South African to score a triple hundred in Tests. He scored 1,000 runs in Test and one-day internationals in the year 2010, and he achieved all this without a sweat. Apparently, he never changed his gloves throughout an innings. What a sponsor's dream. Congrats, Hashim. I'm not sure if you're up for hosting a celebratory braai if I find myself in your hometown, but hey, I can do a lentil curry. If you are offering, of course. And I think it's safe to say I can bring my wife too. No problems there. Our third and last noteworthy retirement came in the form of the stalwart from Sri Lanka, Lasith Malinga. He showed the world that you don't need a conventional action or a professional hairdresser to survive. His slinging action had plenty of pace and deception. Unbelievable slow ball he had and a potent Yorker. Practice makes perfect in his case, as he bowled to the shoe at the popping crease to execute the Yorker to perfection. 338 one-day international wickets is simply an exceptional performance in any book, and just like the final chapter of the famous fairy tale, it's bye-bye and well done to cricket's Goldilocks, who takes the final walk through the forest to go and hibernate with the 3 bears. Drugs in sport. Prithvi Shaw from India is the most recent of a handful of cricketers that has been handed a sentence for taking a banned substance. Allegedly, he took the drug called terpida. Just get the graphic up here, please. This drug here is readily accessible over the counter. It's like cough syrup and paracetamol, which are 2 commonly used medicines that also contain banned substances. Terpidolite, graphic up again please. Apparently helps the airwaves and is beneficial to cyclists and runners, but would not really help cricketers perform, a spokesman was quoted. What? Cricketers don't run? Really? Anything that gives you a small advantage should be classed as an unfair advantage. Zero tolerance. The BCCI operate under the World Anti-Doping Code procedure, which is great, but they only have one doctor to educate and communicate to all professional players throughout India. It's no surprise that professional athletes are in the habit of pushing their bodies to their absolute limits, and there are many a time when their bumps and sprains need medical intervention. It is clearly too much for one doctor to service the needs of the entire Indian cricket community, which consists of 37 first-class teams. The BCCI needs to expand its resources on this issue. It's not something that can be taken lightly. I feel one doctor per team is required to provide the satisfactory resources for all players. Sadly, a young man has been put in the spotlight for an accidental breach because of limited resources. Drugs in sport, no way. On to the Ashes. The rotation policy is in play for the Australians as Patterson misses the Lord's Test due to the risk of injury. He will play a further part in the Ashes in the future, but not now. But my point here is with the huge bowling stocks Australia has at their disposal and the CA method of monitoring their workload, is that the Australian Cricket Board has to look at remunerating the fast bowlers wisely to compensate them for lost earnings in missed matches and also prevent them from playing T20 tournaments around the world. They have quality and quantity at their disposal and they need to play their cards right. India versus the West Indies. India continue to struggle finding a number 4 in the batting order, but it's simply Iyer who should have the spot. Pants down. That wraps up the week. Join me next Thursday for Hoggy's Headlines. And remember, you heard it for the 15th time on Hoggy's Headlines.